They'll do things that are just them.
They can be annoying, but they can be really fun. Don't like that, yeah.
Imagine if we could all behave like that. Good boy. Now listen, you've got...
She's a mum in 80 million. That's the odds of having non-identical twins with Down syndrome. It's the morning rush hour. Alison Whittington's been up since 6.
Right. Katie, are you ready?
She needs to be. What with 4 kids to organise and a part-time job as a legal secretary. 7-year-olds Thomas and Matthew are busy boys.
Some mornings it goes really well, some mornings it can be, hard to get out the door even by 9 o'clock. Are you ready for school? Yes. Oh, good, okay. I'll write you that note that you need. A couple of mornings I work, so I'm trying to be out the door even more quickly those mornings. But it is quite hectic, and I've just got to keep going, and there's no time for sort of anything to go wrong. I have to cross Ben over the road because it's really busy. That can take a little bit of time. I sometimes think, oh yes, I'm going really well this morning, and then I'm standing up there waiting to cross him, and I don't know, maybe 10 minutes is gone, I don't really know, but it is pretty busy just getting the 4 kids out the door.
Thomas was just 12 days old when he contracted meningitis in hospital. He survived, but it's had a lingering impact.
The meningitis has caused swelling in his brain, and so it's obviously put pressure on the rest of his brain. So it's caused, it's accentuated his learning delays, really. Yep, hold Mum's hand.
Thomas has almost no speech and very little concentration.
They're both very different from each other. Matthew is quite adventurous and mischievous. He's run away a few times and been brought back by strangers. People have dialed 111 because they've found him running along the road. We've had yoghurt spread all over the floor. Matthew crawling in the yoghurt with no clothes on. Good boy. Thomas is a lot more reserved, and he'd quite happily kind of sit by himself. But he does still join in. Once someone else is doing something, he will join in, because he was involved in that yoghurt incident.
Aha.
Okay. Hop out. Sorry, I should have asked you. Good boy.
At first, the Whittingtons thought Thomas had autism. They don't think that now, but Thomas spends a lot of time in his own world. And developmentally, he's very different to twin Matthew.
Good boy, Tom.
Alison admits she struggled to manage the twins in the early years.
It was just this whole new world that we had to get used to. It was, and just the constant demand. There were lots of appointments that they had to do with, checking about their hearts and respiratory issues and things like that. It was partly the fact that they had special needs, but also twins with 2 other children is quite busy and quite a lot of work. And I think just for me, the emotional side for me getting through that first year was a big thing, to get my head around the fact that, they weren't the children that we expected we were going to have.
We first met the Whittington family 2 years ago when Thomas and Matthew were still preschoolers. It was hectic, but the family reckons life with 2 challenging boys has improved.
Now, things are improving, even from 3 years ago, Boys are getting toilet trained and that sort of stuff, and all those little steps mean that there's less need, to less input, if you like, from the boys. They can look after themselves to a larger degree, and consequently there's more time for Alison and I, and often it's just talking, about how things are going and laughing and stuff,
See you later.
The boys attend Sunnybray Primary.
Okay, I'll see you later.
The school's welcomed the twins into its satellite unit, even going that extra mile and fencing the playground to thwart the adventures of escape artist Matthew.
They couldn't really be in a better environment. They've got the best of both worlds. They've got the small class with plenty of teacher and teacher aid support. They've got the benefit of being in a mainstream school, and they're fully involved in the day-to-day life of the rest of the school.
Matthew and Thomas have been in this learning support class for 2 years, and whilst they're thriving, their presence here brings added benefits to the rest of the school. Once a week, a group of older children join the class as buddies, a role they take seriously. Though some boundaries have to be set. So what's your name?
Jordan?
Jordan. So you're one of the buddies here.
Yeah.
And did you think before you met the kids here that they'd be this clever?
No, but now I know that Matthew is clever, really clever, and that he loves to do some work and activities.
It's obvious even Jordan's had to wise up to the fact that Matthew's a bit of a trickster.
I think the thing is Matthew and Thomas and the children in their class have taught the rest of the children at school that there are all sorts of people in the world with all sorts of abilities, and that's what makes up the world, and that is real life.
In the classroom, Thomas's learning delays are clear. Today he's content to just stand and play with a piece of fabric. Meanwhile, Matthew's begun to read and write.
Matthew loves school and likes to please, so he's doing his best to get on and, learn to hold his pencil and write and things like that, whereas Thomas still just isn't interested in anything like that. He just, he's happy to go to school and be there, but he still has a lot of difficulty with focusing on what's required of him. Here we go, look.
When the twins were born, the paediatrician said to simply take life day by day, year by year. And the Whittingtons have done that. They've now got their rhythm, but they don't look too far into the future.
They're 7 now, and a few years they'll be 10, and we'll just take it a bit more slowly rather than now thinking about, well, what are they going to do when they finish school?